Hi guys, welcome to Learning Electronics Repair, and I have something here from FNIRSI. This is a spot welding machine, SWM-10. I'll start with the important thing, I won't leave this to the end. So this is around €43 with free postage. As normal with FNIRSI, you have quite a bit of information on the back. So double pulse welding technology, includes a special spot welding pen, and power bank function. So this, as well as being a spot welder, is also a power bank. 5,000 milliamp battery power, 1,200 amp current discharge, which is quite high for one of these in actual fact. Spot welding times record. This is not like a world record. This is like the fact it records how many times it's been used, yeah, how many joints. A bit like a photocopier, tells you how many pages it's copied basically. So that's this. Battery temperature monitoring, multiple security protection reminders. I think this is over voltage and under voltage and various other things. Okay, maybe not over voltage but under voltage, battery being low, that sort of thing. So we can see here it charges 5 volts, discharge 5 volts, welds nickel, iron sheet, stainless steel. I would normally use this for welding onto batteries. I think that's what most people would use these things for. Okay, so that's what it tells us on the box. Let's open this up and let's have a look to see what's inside here. And we have the usual little thing that you get. I think these are like a quality control pass or something like that. I don't think you're really meant to wear them like as a medallion on the neck. Disco man, yeah. Manual in a variety of languages, okay. So a few different languages in here, including English. Brief description of the functions on screen. Okay, let's have a look at the welder. So there's a bit of weight in this, I will say. I would expect there to be, since it has a high power battery apparently in here. Okay, so let's have a look. It's quite hefty. Take a little screen protector off it. Okay. And let's see if this is charged. So there's a button on top. I think this actually puts it into the power bank mode. Long press. Okay, so it's powered up and we have a menu which is all in Chinese. So first thing I want to do is actually change the language on this. This is changing the settings. Long press, that takes me into the menu. And now we see English. So to change the language, we need to press this one short press to get the little book icon on, and then the up or down arrows will choose the language. So English. Okay, and it's in English now. Yeah. To get out of the menus, there's no exit key. You press and hold this one. That brings out. And now we can actually understand what the menus are telling us. So we can see that the battery voltage is 4 volts. I've not charged this. This is how it arrived. I will charge it before we do a bit of welding. 26 degrees, that's the ambient temperature in my workshop or of a piece of equipment. Preheat, so this is your preheat time, 10 milliseconds. Pulse, this is the welding pulse. This is when it actually welds, and you can set the time for the pulse. It's set to 10 at the moment. Interval is also set to 10. So with this welder, what it calls dots, these are welding pulses. So when you weld a joint, you can either do 1 single pulse, 2, 3, 4, or 5. So for example, instead of using 1 massive pulse, you could do 4 or 5 lower powered ones on the same point if you wish. This therefore is the time between the pulses. If we hold the button in, you'll see welding delay. So this is a smart welder. With this, you don't need to press a button or a foot pedal or anything like that to weld. Once you hold the probes, the welding probes against the metalwork, after 0.8 seconds, it will weld. Okay. Once it's welded, and that means it's done the 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 pulses, whatever you set it to, it waits for half a second before it goes again on another cycle. So if you hold the probes against the metalwork, after 0.8 of a second, it will start to weld. It will do the pulses, and then if you remove the probes within half a second, it won't go again. This is the auto off setting, so this will switch off after a certain period of time. Screen B is screen brightness, so we can adjust the screen brightness. Volume, I'm guessing this has a bleeper maybe for the warnings. Language we know about. We can reverse the screen, so we can put this either way up on the bench and still read it. Overheating warning, so this will give us a warning when the unit gets to 65 degrees. That's probably what the volume is for. Under voltage warning, so if the battery in this drops below 3.7 volts, it will stop welding and you need to charge the battery. And then a factory reset. So that's the options we have. To get out of the menu, just long press on here. You can see the battery is at 4 volts and it's kind of like 75% charged, but I will just charge this. I'll take a little break, have a bit of lunch, and we'll fully charge it before welding. The box also contains probes and various other things, so let's have a quick look. So these are welding tips. And these are the welding leads. So these also come with welding tips already on there. Let's see, I think. Yeah, they look the same. So I think these are just spare welding tips. And I assume you can buy these from FNIRSI. So these are the welding probes. We have a USB charging lead, just a standard charging lead, not a fast charging lead. And we have some nickel on a roll that we can actually use to weld, and we can use this to test it. The unit itself, I can just plug the lead in and charge it, but it has this power bank feature. Press and hold the button. Yeah, press and hold the button takes you into the welder. Yep, quick press on the button, and this is the charger. So we can use this as a power bank to charge our phone or other devices. If you're out and about, you need an extra charger. This has 2 connections. So we see a USB-A and a USB-C. This shows us the voltage, current and wattage being drawn from the USB-A, and this one from the USB-C, okay? This shows you the current level of charge in the unit itself. So let me connect a charger to this and let's have a look to see what happens. I'm just going to connect this to my computer to charge it, just because it's on the bench. This lead is actually not the supplied one. The supplied one is actually quite short and wouldn't reach to the computer. Let's just save me going finding a charger. So let's try this. And switch on. Okay, so we can see it's charging. It's drawing about 0.5 amp off this cable, 2.2 watts. So let's allow that to charge up a bit and then we will test this. Well, I've had my lunch and this is mostly charged now. It's gone up 1 bar. So let's try this. I'll leave the settings as they are at the moment. So that's 5 pulses of 10 milliseconds with a 10 millisecond preheat. Okay. And a 10 millisecond interval. So, oh, these are quite stiff to get in. Let's just, yep. That's got the probes in there. I've never actually used one of these before, a spot welder, so let's see how easy these are for a novice to actually use them. Okay. There's quite a lot of this nickel strip here, so we can have a play. We'll try welding two parts of this together. We'll try a few different settings, and then let's try the battery as well. Okay, so I've just put a piece of wood on the bench. We'll try this. So we have two pieces of the metal strip. Okay. And we should simply just put both probes onto here. So one probe, two probes. Yeah, makes a little bit of a noise. I heard 5 pulses. So that's our metal strip. In fact, he's burnt the wood a little bit. I can smell the burnt wood actually. That's attached together. Let's put this under the microscope and have a look to see how well that worked. Okay, and there is our welded metal, top side, bottom side. I think the carbonisation on here basically came from the wood. Or shall we say charcoal on there? That's probably what it is really. I'll just take a little bit of ISO. Yeah, it cleans off. So that is welded quite nicely. That's on the default setting that it came with. Let's see how well attached these actually are. So can I separate these? Well, yes, but it took some pressure to do it. Okay, so it did separate with some effort. Yeah, we can see where it was actually connecting to the other side. Let's try that again with 2 sets of welds. I'll try to get the zoom in a little bit more this time so you can see it. So I'll stick with these default settings. Here are our metal strips. So we'll put 2 welds, 5 pulses each. Okay, so literally we just get this and we just push. I'm going to push quite hard. That's not quite level. Let's just go again. Okay, I'm pressing quite hard. Let's come in with the other one. And then we'll do again. Okay. This is a bit warm actually after doing those 2 joints. It's certainly hot towards the middle. You might expect that. Let's see if we can rip this one apart. So, yeah, I did manage to. Again, it required quite a bit of pressure. But we can increase the settings on this. So, let's go up to the maximum. What do we have? Well, 30 milliseconds is the maximum pulse. I'll leave the interval at 10. In fact, no, let's just go up to the maximum. 20 milliseconds is the maximum. 5 pulses as the maximum. And 10 is already the maximum on the preheater. So this is now set to the maximum. Let's see what it does. I suspect it may just burn a hole all the way through at that setting. Okay. Let's have a look. Zoom in a little bit. Or at least get it centered. Okay, so I put one on and hold it so it's all still, and put the other one and hold it. So I'll just get them level. Here we go. Oh, yeah, you saw that. Let's look at that under the microscope. Okay, so it looks like, yeah, it's burnt a hole all the way through. On the left hand one, kind of like melted the metal. The right hand one, no. You can see where it burns all the way through it. So that was probably a bit too much, to be quite honest, but at least we can see what it is capable of doing. It's quite powerful. Let's see if we can get this one apart. Also burnt quite nicely into the wood while I was doing that. Right, so that is tough. I can't get those two apart. Okay, again. No. No, I cannot separate those. Maybe if I had 2 pairs of pliers and I pulled hard enough, but that is certainly welded. But I think that was perhaps a bit overkill, 5 pulses at that setting. So let's turn it down a bit. I'll put the pulse down to say 20 milliseconds, okay? So we just touch this button and then 20. Okay. Okay, and let's do less pulses as well. So let's, for example, we'll have 4 pulses at that, okay? Let's try that. You can see, by the way, the counter is now showing 20, so with 5 pulses each time, 4 welds, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so we'll go again. I think probably with this you need a little bit of practice, actually. As I say, I've never used one before, so again, hold it flat. Four times. We'll weld again. Okay. Just let that cool down a moment. Once again, under the microscope, you can see one of the welds I put very close to the edge, actually. There, the other ones. This is from the other side. How easily does this one come apart? Let's have a look. It doesn't. I think the basic answer is it doesn't. Not easily, anyway. So, yeah. It did, but it took a great deal of force to do that, okay? So, that's what it can do, joining these bits of metal together. Now, we'll try solder some batteries. I haven't got any of the large lithium batteries, but quite often I come across a situation where I have a circuit board which has the CO2032, the little circular cells, like a CMOS battery. And sometimes they have the batteries which have like bits of metal similar to this, but thinner, legs attached to them. And I can't easily find the correct batteries to change them for. So sometimes I have to solder bits of wire to a CR2032, which is probably not the best idea. So let's try attaching some metal. I mean, what I would probably do is solder on and then maybe just trim these thinner to the like kind of size I want for a leg, yeah, for the battery. But let's try this. So here is a lithium cell. I'm going to go with the same settings I just used previously. I mean, maybe it needs a bit more when you actually try to solder to something like this, or should I say weld, but let's have a go. So this is on the setting I was just using. Okay, press the first one and then press the second one. 4 pulses, okay. Again. 4 pulses. Right. It looks like it's well attached. Yeah, there we have it. Okay. Looks nicely attached. Let's try remove that. So I'll just get hold of the battery. The battery's a bit warm. It's not as hot as it would be if you'd soldered it, by the way. And that does not want to come off there easily at all. So I guess now if I was actually wanting to use this, I would just cut the leg down to the width I want. Okay, so roughly cut to shape, but I can now solder that to the board. All I need to do then is to fit one on the other side. Let's have another go. So I'll keep it on the same setting because that seemed to work very well with this. Okay, so hold it down. Second one. 4 pulses. Again. Okay. And there we go. Yeah, I just need to trim that again and then I can solder this to a PCB and just check the battery voltage actually. Let's see what we have. Yeah, 3.1 volts, that's fine. Okay, so that's basically how this works. I have to say, seeing as I'm a novice with this, I've never used one before. The learning curve was very short, just a few tries with this nickel. I think I found a setting that works pretty well, at least for what I'm doing, so I'm happy with that. And I think you'll be the same. So, €43, this is what it does. Now, I did mention this is also a power bank, so if we just short press on the button, we're now in power bank mode. I can disconnect these, I don't need these now. So let me connect my phone to this. From what the manual says is the type A is the output. I'm not sure about that. Whether I can use the type C. I can take my phone and we'll connect this to my phone. Okay. And it's charging. Well, when I had a connection, yeah, it's charging, okay? So it is charging off that. I'm going to try the USB-C as well to see if we can charge from the USB-C on this. It was a little bit unclear from the manual as I was reading it, but let's see. So, USB-C. Yeah, that's not charging. So what the manual said, you can only charge from the USB-A, unless that lead is for some reason faulty, which I don't believe it is. So it is a power bank, but it's not like a fast charge or PD power bank. So how useful that is, I don't really know. I guess it's handy if you just want to get some charge in the device when you're out and about and you don't really need to charge it fast. But I think it's a bit like this is a bit of an afterthought. But having said that, it probably doesn't add much cost to the welder anyway, you may as well have that, yeah? At the end of the day you can use it, but it's not a PD charger power bank. Okay, so hope you like that quick review. If you're thinking of buying one of these tools, I can tell you from my experience, they're really easy to use, even if you've never used one before. I'd just like to say once again, thank you FNIRSI for sending me these products to review. I will add, although I do receive the product, I'm not paid for making these reviews and I have full editorial control over the content. This is my honest opinion. So, let me know, comments below, and I look forward to seeing you all soon on another Learning Electronics Repair video. Ciao for now, guys.